Okay, let's do some examples where I'm going to use both local and global symbols. So let's do a class people and then constructor. Let's just have this taken a name, and each person is going to have a special access key given to them. Okay, so we know to do this dot name is equal to name. But how can we use symbols here? Well, let's use symbols as a key. So right here, I'm going to do this at, and then I'm going to do symbol, a local symbol with the label that says your key is, and then the value will be whatever the user passed in as their access key. Okay. So then let's do const Philip is equal to new people Philip, and my secret key, let's just say 12345. And then we're going to console.log Philip. Let's look to the right, see what we have. Okay. So this was just used for readability. We're not using the hidden value behind this. We're just using this with the label so that the user can see, oh, okay, my key or my secret password is 12345. And there's really no way that they can change the key. They can only view it because there's no way for them to select. Like, how are you going to select Philip at a random value that is hidden from you, that we cannot even display in the browser, right? So therefore, they can view the password, but they cannot change the keys. You're safe. Okay? Now, what happens if I make this a global symbol? Instead of symbol, what about symbol.for? Well, here, they can still see that, but now they can actually change it. You might be confused because you're saying, hey, I defined this symbol inside of a class constructor, and then it constructed Philip. But how can the user from the outside get access for something that is inside of the constructor scope? Now, this goes against everything you know about scoping and closures, right? But remember, when we use symbol.for, whatever you put right here will be pushed into the global symbols registry. And it doesn't matter where you define symbol.for, it can always be accessed from anywhere. In this file, in another file, in the sources tab, in the settings tab, wherever. Okay, so how would we select that? Well, first, let's put it in a variable. Let's do const. Let's call this symbol value. It's going to be equal to symbol, what? Symbol.for, and you have to copy the string exactly as it is. Okay. So now if you type in symbol value, that's the actual symbol. Okay. And then now you can do Philip at symbol value equal to 1. Okay. And then if we type in Philip again, it says your key is now 1. Okay. So this is one of the downsides of using symbol.for. It allows people to select that actual symbol for objects. Okay. Now, symbol.for would be useful if you're just grabbing a provided global value. Like, let's say everything was created by symbol.for Philip. Right? Every product's created by Philip, you can use symbol.for. Okay? Otherwise, I would just use a regular symbol, because now they have no way of selecting this. Okay? Because for local symbols, you cannot select the variable that you store them in. It is impossible. Now, while it's impossible to get the variable name, it's actually possible to look at an object and see how many and all the symbols that are attached to it. And how we do that is that we use the object constructor. So this is fairly new, but you can do object dot get own property symbols. It takes in one argument and you pass in the object that you want to look at. So if we pass in Philip, we see that here's an array of all of our symbols. If we have another symbol here, let's say symbol 2 is just equal to 2, and then we do it again, we see that there's now an array of 2 symbols. Now, how can we change Philip's key? Well, if we're smart, we're going to put this into a variable, const hidden value, and I already selected it. So now hidden value has the internal value right here. So when you do Philip at hidden value, let's change this to 0. When you type in Philip again, you see that my key is now 0. So when some people say, oh, you can use symbols to make private properties and instance fields on objects, that's actually not quite true. Because even if you use symbols, you see that there are ways that people can access and change your properties and methods from the outside. There are better ways that we can do where we can create real private properties in JavaScript. But I'll actually save that for the next series where we will talk about making properties and methods private on objects. Okay, now let's do a new challenge. What if whenever we create an instance where the name is actually Philip, we know that, hey, that's our admin. And that's the only time we can view this key right here. So how can we do that? Well, I'm just going to take this away, and I will take this away. Okay, now we're going to check, is this .name strictly equal to Philip? And if it is, right, we can do the key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If not, now we can just do a string that says access denied. Okay, but a better way to do it is that we do symbol access denied tag like this. Okay, and then I will create const Bob will be a new instance of people, just passing in Bob. And then we're going to console.log Philip, comma Bob. Okay, now you see when it was Bob, we see that symbol access denied. Now, seeing that there's a symbol, it can tell the user that, oh, hey, so I do have an access code. It's just denied right now. But if your instance has a name of Philip, it recognizes, oh, hey, that's the admin. Your admin key is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool, right? Now, this is just very, very basic examples of symbols, and they're not actually used this way, just to let you know. Most of the time, they're just used so that you don't accidentally name 2 of your object keys the same characters. That's about it.